what would solve the whole thing in the border if they would just start shooting. Only shoot a couple and they would go home.
You think deterrence would work?
If they would shoot.
Fleeing horrific political situations themselves and seeking asylum, you still think that we should shoot?
If they just shot at them a few times, they would go back.
They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with them. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us not the right people. I was nice. Oh, take your time. The second group, I was pretty nice. The third group, I'll be a little more violent. And the fourth group, I'll say, get the hell out of here!
Rough up. Maybe he should have been roughed up, because it was absolutely disgusting what he was doing.
If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees, I promise. Do you know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. Guards are very gentle with him. He's walking out like big high fives, smiling, laughing. Like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast. Yeah, get him out. Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it.
Do you believe that you've done anything to create a tone where this kind of violence would be encouraged?
I hope not. I truly hope not. We have to be politically correct. Oh, please don't hurt them. They're allowed to get up and interrupt us horribly, and we have to be very, very gentle and very gentle. They can swing, they can hit people, but if we hit them back, it's a terrible, terrible thing, right?
You regret saying any of those things, especially the things that you have said about punching protesters, sending them out on stretchers?
No, I don't regret it at all. Some of these protesters were violent. Yeah, I'm not happy about that, and I would always express my feelings about that.
That's an invasion. I don't care what they say. I don't care what the fake media says. That's an invasion of our country. So if you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. I promise. I promise.
Video. He was sucker punched by a Trump supporter.
Yes, he deserved it. The next time we see him, we might have to kill him.
Completely cold-blooded assault. That Trump supporter has been arrested. He's been charged with the crime. And Donald Trump was asked on one of the Sunday shows, would he pay for this man's legal fees? And here's what he said.
It's possible you could help him with legal fees if this man needs it.
I've actually instructed my people. But how do you stop these people? You can't. There's no... That's only in the panhandle you can get away with that stuff. Only in the panhandle. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, you know, they would not do it again so easily. We've become weak. We've become weak. And you know what? The audience swung back. And I thought it was very, very appropriate. The audience hit back. And that's what we need a little bit more of. Now, part of the problem and part of the reason it takes so long is nobody wants to hurt each other anymore, right? I don't know if I would have done well, but I would have been out there fighting, folks. I don't know if I would have done well, but I would have been boom, 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 I'll beat that.
Do you plan on paying for the legal fees of this older gentleman in North Carolina who sucker punched the protester?
From what I understand, he was sticking a certain finger up in the air. And that is a terrible thing to do in front of somebody that, frankly, wants to see America made great again.
It's possible you could help him with legal fees if this man needs it.
I've actually instructed my people to look into it, yes. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists.
Thank you.
Do you know the safest place in the world to be is at a Trump rally?
Political correctness. Political correctness. You're making me leave. All right, because I just Islam. Islam. God bless Donald
That's
Trump.
happening right now as a large group of people, they call it a caravan. Do you know how the caravan started? Does everybody know what this means? I think the Democrats had something to do with it. People are seeing how bad it is, how pathetic it is, how bad our laws are. They made a big mistake. So as the caravan, and look, that is an assault on our country. That's an assault. And in that caravan, you have some very bad people. You have some very bad people. And we can't let
What
that
would solve the whole thing in the border if they would just start shooting?
Democrats want to invite caravan after caravan of illegal aliens to pour into our country. I don't think so. That's an invasion. I don't care what they say. I don't care what the fake media says. That's an invasion of our country.